Okay, so in your own words, can you describe what a BLEVE is?
So a BLEVE would be if you have a refrigerated liquid that is going to boil off as it becomes hotter and it expands so rapidly that it ruptures the tank and creates a giant fireball.
Okay. What are some common ways that BLEVEs start?
A BLEVE would start because of either an accident if the material is being transported by rail or by truck, or if there was a fire that started below or near a propane tank, or a wildland fire would overrun a house. That happens a lot out west when they have wildfires and cabins and everything have the propane tanks, and then everything starts to get hot underneath the propane tank, and eventually it creates enough pressure which the vent starts to vent off the excess pressure, and when that can't happen, then the tank material will fail, and that's when you get the rapid expansion of the product. And if it's flammable, then it turns all into a fireball.
Okay. How are you trained to handle BLEVEs as firefighters?
So all firefighters go through the training as new recruits and ongoing training as a hazardous material technician, and as an officer, we're trained to recognize the sounds and the sights that we see. So if I hear the high-pitched whistle associated with the cylindrical with the curved end, I'm able to identify that's a pressurized tank. Then if it's in conjunction with either a business or a house, and then there's markings usually on the side of those tanks. So then I suspect that it is probably propane, which is our biggest concern in this area. And then if it's already on fire, then I'm watching to see if the venting product's on fire. If that's is on fire, then I have a short time that I have to either correct the problem, or I'm going to have to allow it to burn and isolate and just wait for the worst results to happen and minimize what happens.
Okay. And then what are the different types of gases that can be involved in BLEVEs, and what, in your personal opinion, is the worst one?
Well, the one that we deal with most often would be propane because it's the most common. So it could be as small as a 20-pound cylinder that is on a propane grill versus up to a 500 to 1,000-gallon propane tank for a business or a residence if they're out in the country and they're not hooked up to a natural gas pipeline. And the other common ones would be the larger ones that a forklift runs. Those have about a 50 to 100-pound cylinders on them. So that's the one that we deal with the most of the time. So I don't know if it's the most dangerous, but it's the most common for us. Most dangerous I'd have to do some research and look, but the most dangerous would be something that is a more toxic chemical and flammable at the same time, to where propane is just a simple asphyxiant that it's going to reduce the oxygen. So I can wear my normal firefighting gear and a air mask, and I can be up near a propane leak. Whereas if it's a toxic chemical, I may have to wear a specialized hazardous material suit plus all my other stuff if it's flammable and a flash retardant, and it just becomes more cumbersome and time consuming to be set up.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.